Today's story is about a beautiful girl who works hard, day and night, to make her mark. But then comes a turning point in her life where her relationships, trust, and career are all at stake. On one side, there is her boss, who has an affair with her mother. And on the other side, there is her mother, who secretly does things with her daughter's boss, which we will see in today's entire story. The story begins by showing a superstar named Chris Cole. He is famous all over the world because of his superhero role, and his fan following is so huge that from social media to news channels, everyone is talking about him. On the other side, we see a beautiful girl, Zara, who is stuck in traffic and talking to herself in anger. Zara is actually Chris's secretary, and she has to reach the location given by Chris quickly. Here, Chris is on a lunch date with his girlfriend Ashley, and he tries to convince her that they both should think carefully before making a big decision. Meanwhile, the waiter arrives to take their order. At the same time, Chris quickly messages Zara to reach there. Actually, Zara has a gift that Chris needs immediately. She struggles through the traffic and somehow manages to give him the gift. After this, Chris tells Ashley, "I am going to be very busy with my upcoming film, so breaking up would be a better option for us." Then he shows her the gift, which is a pair of diamond earrings. Even though Ashley doesn't want to, she agrees to end the relationship and leaves with the gift. After this, we see Chris and Zara in the car. Chris is very happy to get rid of his girlfriend. But then, he suddenly gets angry at Zara and says, "Where were you? Do you have any idea how difficult I am to deal with? I feel like firing you from your job right now." Actually, Zara is also not very happy with this job, but she knows that Chris often talks like this. From their conversation, we find out that Chris is worried about the story of his upcoming film. So, he gives Zara the task of coming to his house the next day at 8 a.m. with a good writer so that the story can be revised and improved. He also asks her to bring back the gifts he gave to Ashley, but Zara refuses. After this, we meet Zara's mother and grandmother, whose names are Brooke and Layla. Brooke has been a successful writer, and she tells Layla, "These days, I don't like anything I have written. I stopped writing for a long time, so maybe that's why." After Zara's dad passed away, everything has fallen apart. Hearing this, Layla encourages her, "You write very well. Despite so many ups and downs in life, you have become a successful writer and a good mother as well. If I talk about writing, you can even write your own story if you want. I think that could be a great story." After this, Zara is shown returning home. She goes to her mother and asks, "Mom, how old were you when your first book was published?" Brooke replies, "I was 30 years old, but why are you suddenly asking this?" Zara says, "I don't know, but it feels like I might never be able to do something special like you." Then Zara is in her bedroom when Chris calls her and asks her to go to the supermarket. Zara goes there and buys all the things Chris asked for. There, she meets her friend Stella, who is a writer. Zara asks Stella to revive the story of Chris's film, but Stella replies, "I may not be able to rewrite the story of a superhero movie. To be honest, I have stopped writing for a long time, but I can try once." After this, when Zara reaches Chris's house, she finds out that the password to the main gate has been changed. She immediately calls Chris, and he angrily replies, "Yes, I changed the password because you promised me you would come with a writer at 8 in the morning. You are not doing even a single thing on time. And did you bring my things back from Ashley's house or not? If you don't bring them now, you will lose your job." Hearing this, Zara gets very angry. She jumps over the gate and goes straight inside the house. As soon as she gets in, she furiously tells Chris, "I came here just to tell you to your face that I am leaving this stupid job." Chris immediately gets tense and tries to convince her, "If you leave the job suddenly, all my work will stop." But Zara is completely angry now. She says, "Why should I work for a person who forces me to do such strange things like a dictator?" A heated argument starts between them, and finally, Zara quits in anger and leaves for home. When she reaches home, her mom asks, "What's the matter? Why do you look so worried?" But Zara doesn't say anything about her job. She just replies, "I'm just a little tired, nothing else." Meanwhile, her friend Jenny arrives, and Zara takes her to her room. They talk for a long time, and Jenny also motivates her a little. After Jenny leaves, Zara goes to her mom and finally tells her the truth. "I have quit my job. I was fed up with Chris's wrongdoings. Now you tell me, what should I do?" Her mom explains calmly, "How can I tell you what to do? You are smart and capable of doing anything. Do what feels right to you." Hearing this, Zara leaves. On the other hand, Chris is very worried about his work. In his frustration, he reaches Zara's house. Zara's mom, Brooke, is cleaning the house. Chris rings the doorbell but gets no response. Then he notices that the gate is open. He steps inside and starts calling for Zara. Hearing this, Brooke comes out and sees that it's Zara's boss. She says, "Zara has gone out. It will take some time for her to return." Then she asks Chris to sit while she goes inside to change her clothes. After a while, both of them sit together and start talking. Chris sighs and says, Zara has left the job. She was very angry. That's why I came here, to talk to her and convince her to return. During the conversation, Brooke tells him her name. They ask each other a few things, and their conversation gradually becomes deeper. Chris then starts sharing his problem. The script for my film is stuck, and I'm looking for a good writer. Brooke stands up, picks up a book, and gives it to him. As Chris looks around, his eyes fall on a national award displayed on the shelf. He asks in surprise, "Who won this award?" Brooke smiles and replies, "This award was given to me. I am actually a writer." She then tells him more about herself. It has been 11 years since Zara's dad passed away. After that, even though I faced many difficulties, I held myself together and raised my daughter alone. As their conversation continues, a strange connection starts forming between them. Chris, in a playful tone, starts praising her, making Brooke like his words. Then, while flirting with her, Chris suddenly kisses her. Brooke starts losing control, and both of them slowly come closer and begin kissing. At that moment, a strong storm and earthquake seem to shake the room, and both of them completely lose themselves in the moment. Meanwhile, Zara returns home and goes upstairs, calling for her mom. As soon as she opens the bedroom door, she is shocked by what she sees. In panic, her head hits the wall, and she falls unconscious. Chris and Brooke immediately rush her to the hospital. When Zara regains consciousness, she gets furious at both of them. Inside the clinic, she turns to her mom and says, "He is 20 years younger than you. How can you do such a thing with him?" Brooke tries to explain, "Sometimes in life, certain moments happen that are beyond our control. This was just a golden moment that we shared, so why are you taking it so seriously?" Just then, Chris enters the room, and the doctor turns out to be a huge fan of his. Instead of checking Zara, he gets excited and starts chatting with Chris. This makes Zara even angrier. While returning home, Chris turns to Zara and says, "If I make you the associate producer of this movie, will you work for me?" Zara replies rudely, "Fine, but what happened between you and my mom should never happen again." Chris sighs and says, "Okay, it was a mistake on both our parts, but it won't happen again." The next day, Chris begins shooting for his film, and Zara takes charge of her new role as an associate producer on set. Meanwhile, Brooke receives a message from Chris inviting her to dinner. At first, she refuses, but after thinking for a while, she agrees. She arrives at the location wearing a beautiful dress. On the other hand, Zara and Stella are busy working together, editing the script for Chris's film. At dinner, Chris and Brooke begin talking. Chris says, "Whatever happened between us shouldn't happen again." Brooke nods and replies, "Yes, it shouldn't. And anyway, Zara doesn't know about our meeting, but I will tell her later that we have sorted everything out by talking." After dinner, Chris asks, "Would you like to go for a walk with me to visit New York studio?" Brooke smiles and replies, "Yes." After a romantic walk, they sit down at a spot and talk over drinks. From their conversation, it becomes clear that they have started liking each other. Chris leans in and tries to get close to Brooke again. Brooke looks at him seriously and says, "Listen, never break my heart, and don't ever lie to me just to flatter me." Slowly, they get closer again, and both of them slip into a completely romantic mood. Later that night, when Brooke returns home, Zara sees her and asks, "Where did you go?" Brooke hesitates for a moment and then says, "Look, this is about Chris, so please don't misunderstand me. We met for dinner to talk about what happened that day, and I feel he is actually a very good person." Zara, still doubtful, asks, "Did you just go for dinner, or was there something else too?" It is clear that she does not completely trust her mother's words. After this, we see Zara calling her friend and telling her everything about what her mother is doing with her boss. At the same time, Brooke calls her mother-in-law and confesses everything, saying, "I don't feel good at all that I have lied to my daughter." Her mother-in-law reassures her, "Don't worry, this is your life, and you have the right to live it freely." In the next scene, we see Brooke and Chris spending beautiful moments together at a special place, enjoying every moment with each other. After that, the scene shifts to Chris's film set, where he is acting, but the director looks frustrated. After watching Chris's performance, he is not happy at all and stops the shoot. Zara and the director then explain to Chris, "You need to act better. The overacting is making the scene look unrealistic." After the shoot, Zara returns home with her friend Jenny, but as soon as they arrive, Brooke hurriedly says goodbye to Zara and leaves. Later that night, Zara and Jenny sit together, drinking wine and talking. Zara tells Jenny, "Chris has found a new writer, and he didn't even tell me about it. That really hurt me." Feeling upset, Zara goes to her mother's room, and when she looks around, she notices a note. After reading it, she realizes that the new writer is none other than her own mother. This makes her feel even worse. Angry and frustrated, Zara decides to go to Chris's party with Jenny. As soon as she reaches the party, she confronts her mother angrily. But Brooke calmly says, "I was going to tell you that I am working on the script. Chris is a really good person, and after your dad, I have finally found someone again." Hearing this, Zara becomes even angrier and says, "How can you compare my dad with a selfish person like Chris? He is a cheater, and just like he used other girls, he will do the same to you." Brooke, now furious, says, "It would have been better if you were not my daughter." Zara is deeply hurt by these words. Feeling completely shattered, she decides to leave the house and, in anger, goes to her friend Jenny's house. Meanwhile, Brooke visits her mother-in-law's house to help with Christmas preparations and tells her everything about Zara leaving home in anger. Her mother-in-law reassures her, "Don't worry, we are going to celebrate Christmas together, and I will make sure my granddaughter comes here." Later, Zara also arrives at her grandmother's house and immediately complains, "Do you know they compared Chris to my dad?" Her grandmother gently tries to make her understand. "Zara, when you were 13, your dad passed away. Since then, I have always told your mom to live her life freely, but she spent half of her life only taking care of you. For you, she is only your mother, but don't forget that she is also a woman." Just then, Zara notices Chris entering the house, which makes her even angrier, but her grandmother says, "I called Chris here. Zara, you need to be a little mature. I know this is difficult for you, but at least for this Christmas, pretend to be happy, and you'll see, everything will start to feel right." That night, we see everyone sitting together for dinner. The atmosphere is warm, filled with laughter and lighthearted jokes. After dinner, Brooke and her mother-in-law sit together and start talking about Chris. Brooke says, "You don't know this, but my relationship with Zara's dad was not going well. He wanted a divorce from me, and in the middle of all this, he suddenly fell ill and passed away. And now when it comes to Chris, I don't want to keep any hope. But if this relationship ends, I will be completely broken once again." Unbeknownst to them, Zara is standing at a distance, quietly listening to their conversation. Then, everyone gathers to celebrate Christmas together. Chris gives gifts to everyone, making everyone happy. Later, while leaving for home, Zara goes to put a bag in the car. As she opens Chris's bag, she notices an earring inside. Seeing this, she is completely shocked because she knows that whenever Chris breaks up with someone, he gifts them diamond earrings. He always used to get those earrings through her, but this time, he had already bought them. However, she remains silent and does not say anything to anyone. After returning home, she confronts Chris, saying, "You have played a very good game. After thinking so much, I had started to believe that you were a good person, but once again, you have shocked me." She then takes out the earring from Chris's bag and shows it to her mother. "Mom, whenever Chris breaks up with someone, he gifts them diamond earrings. This time, he has already bought them, which means he was planning to break up with you," she says. She then asks, "Did Chris ever take you on a tour of New York studio? Because he does this with everyone before breaking up with them." Hearing this, Brooke's heart sinks. She knows that no one else could have known about the New York studio tour, which convinces her that Zara is telling the truth. With tears in her eyes, she looks at Chris and firmly tells him to leave. She does not give him a chance to say anything. Chris, with a heavy heart, silently walks away, but Brooke is left completely shattered. After so many years, she had truly fallen in love with someone again, and now she felt betrayed. Meanwhile, Zara goes to her friend Jenny's house and tells her everything that Chris did to her mother. But Jenny, frustrated, says, "Can you be quiet for a minute? You always talk about your own pain. I have been trying to tell you for the past 10 days that I broke up with my boyfriend." Shocked, Zara replies, "But 3 or 4 days ago, I saw everything fine between you two." Jenny sighs and says, "Nothing was fine. You just never noticed. You are so caught up in your own emotions that you don't even see what's happening around you." Hearing this, Zara feels guilty and she starts crying. At the same time, we see Brooke sitting alone, thinking about Chris, feeling broken and hurt. On the other hand, Chris is also devastated, knowing that Zara and her mother have completely misunderstood him. He had no intention of cheating or hurting Brooke. Then, as the new year approaches, Zara takes a gift to Jenny's house. They both talk, and things slowly get better between them again. After the New Year celebrations end, Zara decides to visit Chris's house. Chris is sitting there, looking completely broken. He hasn't gone to the shoot for the past 2 or 3 days. As Zara walks in, Chris looks at her and says, "I always play the role of a hero, but maybe I should play the role of a villain because I am a villain. You won't believe it, but I once thought of breaking up with your mom. I had bought those earrings for her because that's my habit. I have never loved anyone, and I feel that I am not worthy of love. But seeing your mom happy, I had decided never to give those earrings to her, and completely forgot that they were still in my bag. And as for New York studio, you know I go there to avoid fans and photographers. But in the end, you proved me wrong, and now you are also leaving your job, so I don't understand what to do anymore." Hearing this, Zara realizes that she was wrong. She looks at Chris and says, "Don't worry, I will fix everything before leaving." After that, Zara comes home and sits beside her mother. She holds her hands and says, "You are the sweetest mom in the world. and I am lucky to be your daughter. Sometimes it takes a lot of time to understand even the smallest things. At one point I misunderstood you, but now I have realized that the people we love should be allowed to live their lives in their own way. You spent so many years alone just to give me a good life." Saying this, she hugs her mother tightly and starts crying. After this, Zara takes Chris to a shopping mall. Chris has never liked going to malls because fans always surround him, but today, he is surprised after stepping inside. People are behaving normally. No one is running toward him for a selfie, and everything feels peaceful, as if no one recognizes him. He feels relieved for the first time and starts shopping with Zara. On the other hand, Zara's grandmother arrives at the shopping mall with Brooke. While buying fruits, Brooke suddenly sees Chris and Zara. They greet each other with a simple, "Hi," but Brooke immediately understands that this was all planned by Zara. Zara smiles and says, "Yes, I did all this, but I thought you both should talk one last time, so I brought you here with the help of Grandma." Saying this, she leaves them alone and walks away. Now, Chris and Brooke start talking to each other. Chris looks into her eyes and says, "I was never like this before, but after meeting you, I have changed. I have never fallen in love with anyone, but I truly felt the feeling of love after meeting you. Can we be together again?" Brooke nods and says, "Yes, we can't live without each other." And with that, both of them share a deep, emotional kiss. Meanwhile, we see Zara watching everything from a distance, smiling. It turns out that she had turned the entire shopping mall into a film set. Seeing her mother and Chris together again makes her heart fill with happiness. After this, we are shown a scene 1 year later. Brooke's book has been published, making her very famous. Zara has finally become a successful movie producer. And with this beautiful story comes to an end. I hope you like this story. If you are visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.